for the seat. They said no, they started finding something.
You're a filmmaker?
A little bit of one, yeah, I am.
Interesting. Now, before we get into that, do you live on Nantucket?
I do live here.
And how old are you?
I'm 19.
Did you go to school here?
No, I didn't.
So where'd you move from?
I moved from Pawtucket, Rhode Island to here.
Why?
Why?
Why did you come here?
Well, my sister came here about a year before me.
Okay.
And, she came back saying what a fantastic place this is, how different it is from the rest of America. And she's kind of like, okay, Mike, it's time for you to move out of our parents' house, time for you to be an adult, and kidnapped me and brought me here, and it's been a happy decision.
Do you think you'll go to college? Or what do you think?
Well, that's the funny thing. I was originally looking at colleges for like filmmaking, video editing, stuff along that line.
Okay.
And because that's always been kind of my childhood hobby growing up.
Yep.
And when I got here, I just started helping someone with a project, and I kept meeting more and more people. And along the ways, I've just been learning and getting paid for like the kind of work I was going to go to college to do.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
So what are you doing for work?
Well, my day job is over at the Green.
Yep.
Serve people their coffees and smoothies.
Yeah.
They definitely like the smoothies better than the coffee. But other than that, I just edit videos, help anybody out on any projects that they need help on.
All right.
That's what I'm doing for
Oh,
work.
that's great. Now, you made a film. Tell us about this film that you made.
I did make a film. It's called Parkour, or, it's just kind of parkour with ack thrown in there, Nantucket Parkour. And it is just generally about the sport, although the film had to be short, so there's a lot more to it that I would have liked to add in.
All right. Tell people what parkour is.
Parkour is...
Parkour. Because I didn't even know what it was. I mean, I know what it does, but I didn't know the name. Where does the name come from?
The name parkour originates from France, where it originated from, although in general I call it adaptive human movement, because it's a natural thing that everybody does when they're around my age or younger. Everybody starts experimenting with what their physical body can do. They test the limits of it. But parkour and free running is basically a discipline that takes fundamentals from all sorts of different movements, whether it be martial art, dance, free climbing, rock climbing, gymnastics, all sorts, and it melds them together. And basically, it is used to overcome and play with your environment. Any obstacle is seen as a plaything, you enjoy overcoming them.
And when you say them, give me some examples.
I don't know, let's say I'm running late for work and there's a huge block and the center of it's fenced in, I can just jump over the fences and go in a straight line from point A to point B.
But is it something you go out to do as a workout? Or is it something you do as an art form? Or how do you approach it?
Well, that's funny because there are many different there's many different reasons that people do parkour. Some do it to keep fit, and it does a wonderful job of keeping them fit. Some of them do it, as their art, because the movement types are so varied between every person that it's not the same for anyone, so it's very unique in an art on its own. I do it simply to be happy. If I'm having a hard day, or, if I'm just really down on my luck, I go and I practice parkour because it's fun to me, it gives me inner happiness, it doesn't get me lost in my thoughts and what if this, what's going on here, it just makes me live like right in this moment, it makes me experience my environment how it is, it's very grounding, it keeps my mind off any other shit I might have to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, doing that sport is just, it keeps me happy.
Now, this sport is not. It's a young man's sport. Let's face it.
No, actually.
No.
The founder, David Bell, of it is probably at least 45 now. He just released a new movie called Brick Mansions. His other original movie was District B13 or District B12, B13, something like that. Both are showcasing parkour. And the later that you choose to start parkour, it may be more difficult to pick up, especially if you still have all the injuries from what you did when you were young.
Yeah, right. Sure.
But at the same time, it doesn't, the media overly glorifies the big roof gaps and the huge double flips.
Yes.
It is, but those guys that have been doing it have literally been practicing for like years on end, every day, like every hour of every day for weeks, months. And it's actually funny because parkour can obviously be used to explore the environment in such a way that, you know, so many people don't. So yeah, people.
Is it something you do privately, or do you want people to watch you do it?
That's a funny question because
You get off on having people watch it. I mean, I've seen you do it. Actually, I've seen you around doing it.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
Thank you. It's funny because part of me, you know, my ego feeds off of the attention that people give me when I'm doing it, you know, and someone's like, oh wow, that's so cool, you know, I get very like prideful, but you know, in my opinion, that's not good of me to do. So at the same time as I do like the attention it brings me, I very greatly like to practice in private, because also at the same time, let's say I'm trying to teach myself a new trick, that does involve quite a lot of falling. I'm not going to lie about that. And it doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to get hurt, but at the same time, if everybody's watching me, I don't necessarily test my limits. I don't teach myself new things. So I need the privacy while I train in order to progress in my movement.
What is the secret, or what is the, if you were to say, the one thing about parkour that you have to keep in mind when you do it is this. What is that?
I would just say that the main thing you have to keep in mind is that, you know, it's something that you should do only to really make you happy. You shouldn't do it for fame. You shouldn't do it for money or any of that stuff. You know, do it to make you happy. Do it
so you don't get hurt. You know,
Yes,
let's
that
say you
also.
were going to approach a jump, and you know, if you think you're going to fall, there's a good chance you're going to fall, right? Isn't that?
Yeah, very much so. So just know your boundaries and look at something. If you look at it with fear, do something to build up to it, you know. But if you look at it with confidence and you can really visualize yourself doing that, and you're confident, there might be a little bit of fear, but you can overcome that.
That's a very nice metaphor for living life too, isn't it? It does
is.
have a correlation between
Definitely.